Or not, and that'll be it. It won't be this big deal that threatens to create civil war and all this. Well, and that's basically what's behind, and we can see that's what's behind the popular sovereignty idea. That's behind the Kansas-Nebraska Act, and actually, it becomes even more popular with Dred Scott, because the Dred Scott case basically states that slaves aren't citizens, and the Missouri Compromise is unconstitutional. Remember, there's Dred Scott is the second Supreme Court case where judicial review is invoked that declares a law passed by Congress unconstitutional. The first one's Marbury versus Madison. The second one's Dred Scott. Dred Scott basically means the Missouri Compromise is gone. Compromise that we've sort of hammered out and lived by. But the problem is popular sovereignty leads to civil war in Kansas. And it leads to this Lecompton Constitution, which is a very corrupt constitution that's, one of the things that's going to polarize people around the election of 1860. But this idea of popular sovereignty is something that they're going to ask you questions about this. They're going to ask you questions about the Northwest Ordinance. They're going to ask questions about the Three-Fifths Compromise, probably, or the Great Compromise in the Constitution. They'll probably ask you questions that deal with nullification, whether they are Kentucky and Virginia and Kentucky resolutions, whether they're tariff issues, whether that's Calhoun's thing, So these topics, you're gonna get a multiple choice question on them. When we get the Mexican-American War and all those Western states pile in, half of Mexico becomes the United States, this whole issue of territorial expansion comes again. Wilmot Proviso is none of the, he's basically suggesting that none of the new territories that we win through the Mexican-American War will ever become slave states. That doesn't pass. That's trouble with the South, obviously. The South is never going to go for that. The Compromise of 1850 is the one where they basically allow California to come in as a non-slave state, and they strengthen the fugitive slave law, and they have a few other things. All of these attempts to create compromises and avoid civil war, they pound you on. You have to know all of those on the test. I don't know which one I don't know which ones they're going to ask you, but they could ask you all of them. A multiple choice question. So you have to know all of them. And the Clayton Compromise is generally viewed as the last attempt to avoid civil war. Remember, Abraham Lincoln is elected as President of the United States. The Republican Party's platform in the 1860 is the southern states where slavery exists can continue to have slavery, but it will not expand from that point at all.